Okay, this commentary is a short little piece, and this is for any of the young ladies, probably 21 and under, that might, listen to these audios. I just want to give a little piece of advice. And from what I've observed, because of, thank goodness for social media, we get to see the true dysfunction in a lot of black women. A lot of times I'm still hearing black women online wanting to just completely just talk about the males. But see, the problem is it's not that they're not accurate in a lot of things they say they are, but they have yet to fully explore the problem with the women, okay? And so you got to see both sides. But this is what I have to say. I want to say for, a lot of you younger ladies to get a fresh start, or maybe you want to detox from the dysfunction you might have grown up in. The best way is just probably not to tune in to too much media or too much that comes from black women. I'm just going to use a small example. I was just briefly, I mean literally briefly, not even a whole minute, listen to a young lady talk about Gayle King and the Gayle King effect. Okay, when I saw that, I already knew she was going to kind of, you know, go in on what Gayle King did with Kobe, and probably not in a way that's, you know, defending Gayle King, I'll say. And not to say that she should defend Gayle King. This is what I'm saying is that this woman, and women, a lot of women like her, but I'm using her for an example, wants to give advice to black women. But they are not very healthy for giving advice to black women. And the reason why is because if I still hear a black woman say, our men, just pay attention to this. If you hear black women keep saying, our men, do not take any advice from her. It's just my suggestion. I don't care how smart she seems. I don't care how level-headed she seems. The minute she says our men, be careful taking much advice from her. Okay? Now, I've probably taken advice from some black women regarding maybe the urinary system, or how some people talk about the yonis and keeping the yoni healthy, or certain foods to eat, like healthy foods. I will listen to some black women when they talk about that, because that's dealing with the body, that's dealing with health. That is about the only time I really listen to. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking out. That is the only time I really listen to some black women, is when they're talking about healthy foods, when they're talking about healthy things for the womb, or, just things like that. That is about the only time I really listen to black women, because that is not necessarily a matter of opinion. That's from maybe research and just, But what I'm saying is, when it comes to black women wanting to give other black women advice, I just haven't seen too many. I'm just going to be honest. I have not seen too many. So this lady that was talking about the Gayle King effect was starting off talking about how black women who have gone through trauma, who have gone through abuse, how they have gone through so much abuse that they have a tendency to blame all. Well, here's the problem. Where did most of that abuse come from? And did Gayle King, was that interview a result of some kind of abuse that she has gone through? See? Because from what Gayle King has said, the way it was edited, it made it look like she was just focused on Kobe Bryant, when she talked about a list of things. But the way that it was edited in a way to make Gayle King look like she was attacking Kobe Bryant, when that's not, according to her, that is not what she was doing. Okay? And this is not to defend her, because I don't defend jesters. So I'm not defending Gayle King, because I just don't defend jesters. But one thing I will say is that one thing we know for sure is that the black people have made it okay for black women and black girls to get abused and you know, just get treated in the worst possible way ever. That's what we do know. We saw how these guys attacked this woman, call her a dog-headed bee, and it was okay. for a lot of women, okay? A lot of women, okay? Excuse me. But right now, I'm seeing, just I saw a title of another woman's video about how Snoop and Little Boosie disrespects Gail in the worst way. But what I noticed is she put that in her title, but she didn't really say anything. I thought she was going to have an opinion on how Gail was disrespected. She didn't. And this is a big YouTube channel. And yet these same ladies with these bigger YouTube channels want to post little in their community tabs, want to post how little young black ladies, young black teenage girls are getting killed and young black women are being killed by their boyfriends. But then when they have the opportunity to speak out on abuse, they don't use their platforms to really speak out. And so just to end this, okay, I know, it's natural to want to listen to women who share your same image, who look like you. But it's too many black women right now who are just unhealthy. It's just too many of them that are unhealthy. And I'm not blaming them. They grew up in an environment, whether it's the hood or not the hood, black women kind of share this same, I'm talking about a lot, still collectively, okay? I know there are some black women who's moving away from the poison, but I'm talking about still collectively the mindset. And the mindset, regardless of whether they grew up in the hood or whether they grew up in another neighborhood, as long as they have spent their life tuning into black media, they're still going to have the mindset that they shall not speak out against this black man, okay? So, and I'm not going to say what group of women you should pay more attention to, because I feel like I don't want to put these other women on a pedestal either. But I will say that some of these other women understand what a true patriarchy is. And a lot of things some of these black women will have you tolerate, especially these black women on YouTube will have you tolerate. These other groups of women don't really tolerate it, okay? But I wouldn't say completely take advice from them either. I wouldn't say put those other women on a pedestal either, okay? Because their life is not what some people try to make it either, okay? You don't know what those women go through, okay? But I think that's all I have to say. But I want to say again, I definitely get. That's why I said, just a sidebar for a second. That's why I say a lot of black women need to stop giving birth to black males, because they come up in this certain system as it is right now. They're getting these boys to grow up without any kind of positive male role model. And although you have a white people, Koreans, Japanese, Chinese, and other groups of men that can probably serve as positive examples, they still don't have the men who looks like them to give them, that's a positive male role model. They still don't have those men who look like them. And regardless, those little boys, those black boys, are going to look for the male role models that look like them. And a lot of these black boys have chosen Snoop Doggy Dogg as their positive male role model, okay? They have chosen the Kobe Bryants as their positive male role models. They have chosen the Michael Jordans as their positive black, because no matter how many other groups of men and patriarchs exist in the world, people are going to want to follow what looks like them. And that's just the bottom line. It's how it is. Everybody does that. And so I'm going to get back to what I mean about, these younger black women and who they may want to tune into. The only thing I suggest tuning into is your own intuition at this time, But I definitely want to say to be careful listening to too many black women. And I realize that you want us to listen to people who look like you, but I just feel like even if you're listening to a successful black woman, she might make a lot of money, might have a nice job. The only advice I would say to get from those kind of black women is advice on how they got on how they might have gotten wealthy, okay? Because if they got wealthy themselves, they know how to tell you some things on how to get wealthy. I wouldn't mind taking that advice. But as far as advice when it comes to relationships, as far as advice when it comes to this the so-called black race. Most majority of black women, it's just not healthy for you to listen to them right now. Okay? That's all I have to say. And I will talk to you soon.